So as you may know, my life doesn't follow the typical 9 to 5. Just imagine your weekends falling on a Monday. Mondays when people actually like lock in for work. That's when people actually try to set their goals for work. And that's when you have your weekend, well, quote unquote weekend. Or being so tired after 3 consecutive long shifts and not being able to muster up the energy to lift your head, not even to talk of getting out of bed and getting things done. Well, this was my life and this was my cycle the whole of last year. But I'm on a journey to change that, and I want to document everything as I go on, so stick with me. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Eniola and this is Eniola Unscripted. So today's video, we'll be talking about what I want my 2026 to look like and how I'm going to go about achieving this. Not having a set routine, a set daily routine could be quite, challenging. It all depends on how you approach it. It does have its benefits, and it has its like disadvantages as well. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, it's all bad. No, I think there are some good sides to it, and I will, discuss all of that in this video. Living without a rigid clock or like a set daily routine, yeah, like I said, it does have its advantages and disadvantages. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to be discussing the disadvantages first, because why not? So what is a disadvantage that I have found? I find that it limits your availability, because like I said, imagine you having like your off days, maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week, and next week maybe you're gonna be off Tuesday, Friday only. So like it does limit like what you could do with your own personal time, and that could be very challenging and it could really affect your work-life balance. And this was what I found last year. Oh my goodness, I was all the time, I was always like trying to figure out like what I was doing with myself, what I was doing with my off days or my free time, and it was quite hectic. When it would come to things like the holidays, like Christmas, you know for a fact that, oh, you may not be able to spend Christmas with your family if that's what you like, if that's what you're about. You may not be able to do that just because maybe you're going to be working Christmas and you have like really odd shifts around that period. So like, yeah, it could be really hard. So I found that I had to be quite proactive in making time out for things I like to do or things I enjoy. Because if you don't do that, you end up trying to fit your life around your work, which isn't very nice. The benefit of not having a set clock or a rigid clock, I will say, is it causes you to be more proactive in like planning things out, like making arrangements, organizing events or organizing to attend events that you want to attend. Take for example, like if like I have a concert that I want to attend, I would have started planning this concert like months in advance, because I will need to buy my ticket. I need to figure out how I'm going to get there, if I want to spend the night like around the venue, things like that. So I tend to plan things well in advance. I plan weeks in advance, depending on how big it is. Plan months in advance. In fact, I have a project this year that I already started planning like last year, that sort of thing. So it all depends on the sort of projects and what, like how big it is or how big the project's gonna be, and that will determine how well in advance you would want to, start thinking about it. Well, I found that I would plan for these big things and end up not paying attention to like little things. So I'll make big elaborate plans for like a concert, for example. Think about what I want to wear, how many trains I want to take, I would have to take to get to the venue and things like that. And little things like, oh, reading, I'll be like, yeah, I can do without that today, or I can do without that today, or like doing Pilates. I love doing Pilates, but I find that I'm just like, yeah, we can skip it today, we'll do it tomorrow. Or and tomorrow will come up, be like, oh yeah, we can skip it today, we'll do it the day after. Things like that. So I don't like, and I'm quite aware of that. But I imagine that like the reason why I maybe tend to just push these little things aside is because I just feel like, oh well, I can just up and do it anytime. It's not like maybe going on a trip where I have to actually think about rigorously, think about it very well before I jump into it. It's not something like that. I have to like reading or doing Pilates. I can do that at home. I can do that in my room. I can do that anywhere. So I think that's mostly why I just end up being like, you know what, yeah, let's push it aside today. I don't feel like doing it today, so let's just put it aside. But this year 2026, I want to be a lot more intentional about these little joys, these little things that give me so much peace and that just make me feel sane. I want to be a lot more intentional about them and like really take time out to do them as well. So I have bought new books. I think I'll attach a clip somewhere. But I have bought new books that I'm gonna read this year. So I think I've bought about 5 to 7 books. I'm thinking of doing 10 books at least this year, but we'll see. We'll see at the end of the year. You guys will be my accountability partners in this. Yeah, and yeah, as I read those books, I will be doing reviews. Yeah, so I will be, you know, keeping you in the loop. And then I also want to pick up Pilates again. That will take me a lot of work up to get into, but I will pick it up again. The good thing is I have everything I need to do Pilates at home anyway, so I don't necessarily need to start thinking about going to the gym or like gym membership. No, no. So I think that's a plus for me. I also need to pick up my Royal Marsden. If you don't know what a Royal Marsden is, I will put a clip or a picture of it somewhere in this video. Yeah, I need to pick it up because I need to brush up on some things work wise, skill wise. I need to brush up on some things. And I also need to, gain the habits of just studying because this profession I've chosen, I have to read. I have to read all the time because things change. So yeah, there's that. I will also be trying out new things like glamping. I say this knowing full well that I like to be very, very comfortable. And glamping, well, I know camping is like, you're doing everything in the wild. Glamping is supposed to be like a lot more comfortable, luxurious. But I don't know if I'll get the sort of comfort I like if I go glamping. But we'll see. I mean, I haven't made any concrete plans for that, but um, I'm looking. I'm looking. If I find something that really catches my eye, then I'll do it. If you guys don't mind just sharing some links with me if you have any. Um, but yeah, if I do find something that catches my eye, then I'll try it, and it's just gonna be a matter of if I don't like it, then I won't do it again. Point blank, full stop. I won't do it again. But apart from that, I also have a few concerts I've like booked in for, I've bought tickets for. I have a few events here and there. I have a few trips. So I think I have like activities for every month up until May. So I have activities every month until May. So I'm booked and busy. Hey, booked and busy. But it's gonna, yeah, like I said, I was saying to my friends, like 2026, we are outside, we're doing things, we're just like having a good time. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and please comment. And oh yeah, comment like links if you have links to glamping spots. Please, I'm interested. I'm quite curious as to what that glamping is all about. But please, if you do have links, share them. And also comment like what are you trying to do differently this year? And who knows, we may be able to link up and do one or two. You never know. Anyway, I will see you in my next video. Bye.